I'm out at a spot I've been to many times before, but they're doing some clearing out here. So I'm going to scoot around, see if I can find anything. Hopefully we'll find something. I've hit this area pretty hard, but I've got some free time today. So I'm going to see what I can get into, and hopefully I'll see it the first good find. Well, I'm actually in the field. It looks like they ran the bush hog around in here, so the grass is a little lower. So I've hit it a lot. Hopefully I'll find something. But my first find down in that hole is a bottle cap, which is a good sign because that just shows I haven't gotten everything out of this field. It's unfortunate. This owner's sons like to shoot out here. And it's a big old cartridge. Let's see, I don't even know what it says on it. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few of these out here. I think I got something old down here. Right there. I think it's a button. Let's see what that is. Oh, yep, it is cool. And it's a neat one too. It's got a little design on there. It's pretty neat. Let me clean that up for a second. Yeah, it looks like a button. It's got holes that go all the way through, I think. I'll have to clean it up. But look at the back. It's not really a shank on the back. It's got a cutout right there. Might be the back piece might be a little bit missing off of it. I don't know. It's pretty neat looking. Well, I'm glad I came out here today. It's close to home. Looked like it was going to rain at my other spot. So I figured I'd give this one another shot. And look, it's got a musket ball. And then there, a musket ball, or one of those ones with a hole in it. Yep, see, that one's got a hole in it. Huh. I've heard several different things about these. That it is a musket ball. They would put a hole in two of them, put a stick through there and shoot two of them at a time. I have found some with a hole in it with little tiny like buckshots inside of it, and then a spindle whorl for weaving thread, but I'm not sure. Just different things that I've researched and found out about those. Different theories, I guess. Well, that was a big square spike down in there I was just talking about, but yeah, I know there was a plantation house at the end of this field where they dug a bunch of stuff out, but yeah, I think they camped in front of it. And that's what this is. I think the house was facing this way. It was a big field. And they camped out here at one point. Well, down on that whole tiny piece of lead could be a fired bullet. Also might be just melted camp lead. I think I got another button down in this hole. Right there. It was over here. It's small, so it wasn't giving a real strong signal, but I could tell it was something decent. Let's see. It actually just be a rivet. Yeah, I think that's, oh, maybe some kind of grommet. Hold on, hold your ears. Yeah, some kind of rivet or grommet. I'll clean it up and show you later. Alright, I think there was another button down on this hole. It's a small one, look at it right there. It might even be a two-piece cuff. I think it is. Oh, I dropped it, I lost it again. Shows you how quickly stuff disappears down on that grass. It's got a little design on it, I think. I dropped it again. Alright. Might be a civilian button. Yep. The shank's missing off the back. That's a two-piece. There it is. It's got a little design on it. Looks civilian. I'll clean it up more and show you. Almost looks like the end of a battery. Like a AA, but it's not. It's a button for sure, two-piece. There's where the back is. So, alright, I'll clean it up for you later. Alright, down in that hole, a musket ball, a smashed one. Don't see a hole in it like the other one, so. Nope, there it is. Look, there's another hole in there. It's smashed. Yep, it's got that same hole in there. Interesting. Well, down in that hole, definitely some melted lead. Right here, I think it's a two-piece button. I think it is. Well, maybe not two-piece, might be a Jacksonian button. And it may have something on there. I'm not sure if that's a button yet or not. I'll clean it up with a brush. I don't know if you can tell right there. It's dipped out. I think it would have had a piece of glass glued in there. So, alright, that's a pretty cool button. should have the glass in it. Well, right up against these trees, they piled up a piece of a buckle. Horse tack, but it could be old. Well, there's something in that hole right here. A little flat button. Alright, that's pretty old. Well, down in that hole we got another button. Right there, nothing on it. Just got the shank on the back. Flat button. Kind of a small one. Alright, I think it was a... Alright, I think down in that hole, padlock keyhole cover. Found quite a few of those out here. Alright, down in this hole, another button. Nothing on it, but it's a flat button. And the shank is pushed down to the back. So the shank is still on there. It's a pretty old button. Alright, I noticed this first big old piece of black glass. So if you look up, it's actually green. But when you put it down, it looks black. It's old. But there's a big chunk of lead down in here. It was sitting sideways. This is it right here. It is ginormous. It's a big chunk of lead right there. Wow. Surprised I hadn't found that before, but it was sitting like this. I dug around in that hole for a while. That may be the tiniest button I've ever found. That thing is small. I think it's a button. It may just be a tack. But it looks like a button. So I'll clean it up. Looks like it's got a shank on it. And I'll let you know, but that is small. Alright, down in that hole, I thought this was something broken, but I'm not so sure when I look at it. I can't tell if that's a broken button or something else. But it's old. There's some black glass down in there. I think I already put it in my pouch. So it's pretty old. While digging this hole out, I saw it for the pout. Big old ball. I don't know if that's a musket ball. It's got a hole in it again. That's a lot bigger than the other ones I was finding. But you can see the hole right there that goes through it. Well, the wind's picking up. Hopefully you can hear me. Got one of those saddle tacks or upholstery tacks. Like a wagon seat or a actual chair in a house. Well, there's something in this hole, but I wanted to show you. This is the kind of stuff you see when you pop a plug in this field. Just the glass and the pottery and stuff like that. It's a little piece of black glass. Yep, early green glass. But let's see what's in the hole. There's something in there. I think it's deeper than that. Before it was covered by iron. And a lot of stuff was just covered by iron today. Huh? Nope, still in the hole. Alright, there he is. Right there, best you can. And I'm going to dig down. See what I can find. Another shovel depth. Probably 4 inches or so. See if that'll get it. This is one of those. Oh, I see it. Right there it is. That looks like, oh, that is. It's a musket, oh no, it's not. I thought at first it was a musket tube for a ramrod, but it's not. It's just a piece of something, piece of brown glass. Yep, there it is. I have no idea what that is. I think it's solid, it's not hollow. This object in the hole was definitely being masked by this piece of iron. Surprised I picked it up because that is a thick piece of iron. Right here. Button. There we go. No shank on it. And that one looks like it might have something on it. Alright, sit right down and clean it up. Could be a Federal Eagle. War 1812. And again, it could be my eyes playing tricks on me. Nope, it is. Cool. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it's got an eagle on it. Alright, let me clean it up a little bit more. Alright, there it is. Let me put it in macro, maybe you can see it a little bit better. Alright, there it is. Federal Eagle. Cool, War of 1812. Shank is gone off the back. A ton of brick in this hole. All over this plug here, son. It's all over the place. What? Something down in the hole. Yep, another one of those lead balls. It's been hit. Actually, that might be a musket ball. I don't see a hole in that one. Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'll have to clean it up. It's a big 69 caliber musket ball. Real deep down in this hole, I think we got another button. Yep. That one's Tom back. See how it's shiny coming out of the ground? It's a mixture that makes Tom back, not the type of back it has on it, but most of them do have that mound shank with the wire, with a mound with the wire shank in it. Pop this plug and it's right in the bottom. You can see. I don't know, 4 inches or so. Another button. Don't see anything on it. It does have the shank on it. I think there's anything on it. I don't think there's anything on it, but there's the shank. Alright, cool. I'll take it. Well, there's something in that plug. When you do like that, you can hear the iron, but when you do it on the side right there, definitely something on the side. See, oop, didn't turn it on. There was something right in there. Ah, aluminum. My nemesis. I had a signal in that hole right before I was filming that last clip, and I couldn't find it, and I found a couple pieces of nails and figured that's what it was, but when I got up and moved my shovel, it's a button, and it was over here. Look at that. Alright. Yep. I think that's a button. That could be a coin. Don't see a shank. Place for a shank on it. It's gotta be a button though. Too thin to be a coin. Alright, I'll take a good look at it. Pretty sure it's just a flat button. There's another button in the hole on the bottom. Right there. Let's see what kind it is. I think that other thing was a button. Just couldn't find the shank. Place for the shank on the back of it. Ooh, this one keeps getting away. That, yeah, it's a button for sure. So when the shank was on the back, it's going to have a back mark. Don't see anything right off on the front. Not right off. It could be, but there it is. It's pretty toasty. Well, down in that hole, got some pottery. Then there was what looks to be another padlock, keyhole cover or something. Maybe something else. Not sure on that one. Alright, down in this hole we got a musket ball. Small caliber. Hits something that's flattened on one side. It's a good find. Nice and old. Alright, down in this hole I think we got another musket ball. Looked over the plug is blowing my ears out. Well, it's not a little one. It's a decent sized one there. Nice. Alright, down in that whole piece of lead. So it's 2 musket balls and a piece of lead right in the little 10-foot area. The old button down in this hole. Nice big one. Nothing on it. Shank's going on the back. It's got that silvery look like it's made out of Tom back. So this one doesn't have that mound on the back of it. Maybe just slightly. Yeah, it does. It's not just slightly. It's mostly gone though. Oh, I got a button or a coin that time. Something like a mound or a coin or a button or something on it. Right there. Alright, let's pull it out. Alright. It's a button, but I think there's something on it. That kind of looks like a coin. Oh yeah, something on there. Alright. It's getting overcast. I can only have a whole lot of light. Maybe another Federal Eagle button. It's kind of looking like. Well, that's about as good as I can get it. There is something on it. I just can't tell what. Maybe you can. Since I have it in macro, it is a button. It's got the shank missing on the back, but you can see where it was. I think it's got a back mark. Probably a War 1812 button. Deep in that hole. Let's see. A little like that right out of 10-pointer. 9 inches. Got a musket ball. Well, some pottery, an oyster shell. Goes back in the hole, pottery in a pouch, and a button. Let's see if there's anything on this one. Oh, that's a full hole button. Cool. It's got a maker on it. think it does. I probably won't be able to see out here. Alright, you probably can read it. I won't be able to read it till I get home. That's awesome. Another little tiny upholstery tack. Pull down on this hole, it's pretty neat. It's like a little hatchet head or a little chisel or something. Maybe a little chisel. I don't know how that would be a hatchet head. Well, and that hole is a modern cartridge. And it was worth digging because there's an old bottleneck down in there. I usually keep these. They're in decent shape. That one's in decent shape. That's pretty old. Well, this is another trash pit. There's some pottery down in there. Here's some charcoal right there. There's 2 pieces of bone and oyster shells way down in there, and there's a good signal in there somewhere. I think it is. I've been digging stuff out of here. Some light glass, some pottery, and a big piece of a cauldron. Put stuff on it. Trying not to lose it. But there's the handle for the cauldron. But something silver came out of here. A little tiny thing. I was going through this, getting the nails out, and then going back over it. Something right here. Something small. I think it's just a button. Oh yeah. It's a small button. Sure is silvery looking. Must be combat. He's got a thing on it too. So there's stuff down in there too. Another trash pit. Yeah, it's got a big old shank on it. And it is tomback. It's made out of tomback. And it's got the mounded back. 1765 I think. I'll flip those up. There's that mounded back with the wire shank. It's got the shank still on. Oh, that's a pretty good button. There might be some more down in there. Alright, I'm down deep now. And I just got a buckle out of here. I'll show it to you in a second. Look how deep I am. I'm 3 pin pointers. It's a pit for sure. And I may have to cover it up, come back and dig it out. I'm running out of time. But I think I got a pretty nice buckle here. Right there. I think that's what that is. Oh wow. That's pretty neat, whatever it is. I think that's a buckle. It is a buckle. Clean that up with the brush. I have to be very careful, it's kind of fragile. Yeah, I think it's silver. Let's see what it comes out. Yeah. 74. So I don't know what it's made out of. It's pretty neat looking. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. It's definitely hand carved. You can see where it's carved. It's broken. It's definitely not a buckle. I don't know what that is. Right in the pouch. Alright, I was going to show you this. See that pottery right there? That's local made pottery. And it's made to mimic the pottery made in England, but I can't. Delft pottery or something. I'll have to look it up. Alright, you can see the hole, how deep it is, how big it is. And there's still more in there. I gotta get going. So I'm gonna cover this in and I'll come back another day and dig it out. I meant to show you, here's a big old piece of iron that came out of there, a bunch of nails and stuff. I'm gonna drop them back in the bottom of the hole. So I can find it again. Don't tell anybody where it is. Got it covered up. I'll have to mark it somehow. Let's find something to mark it with. I'll probably do that tomorrow anyway. Hey, somebody left a big hole uncovered. Actually, it's not uncovered. It's just, I usually like to throw some grass over them. Hey, look, it's a nice board. Let's put this board over it. Alright, throw that board right there. And we'll be back for it. Take that hole out and make a big one. Alright everyone, here's the wrap up. Paper towel wrap up. That was a great hunt. We ended up with a lot of pottery shards and glass pieces. Green glass, they call it black glass. Some old pottery. Like this. It's pretty old pottery. And then we got some lead, which I always like the lead that's been melted into the ground because you can see different impressions on it. Some more lead that's been melted, and then some lead balls. This is probably a musket ball. These I'm not sure about. They have a hole in them. This is a little big for a musket ball, so it must have been some kind of fishing weight, which is what these could have been. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. It's like 2 musket balls and 2 little, well, that's a smush bullet, and like a bucking ball. We got a couple of buckle pieces, piece of brass, piece of a pewter utensil, brass tack, piece of a padlock keyhole cover, a little grommet, I think. Oh, there's another piece of lead. It was up there. And then another padlock keyhole cover, I think. That might be something different. I'm not quite sure about that. I don't see anything on it. And then we got 16 buttons, and some of them are pretty cool buttons. So this one's pretty neat. Let me put your macro, I'll show you a couple of these. Alright, so that's a cool civilian button right there. We really need a light. Alright, that's a cool civilian button right there, 2-piece. Shank's missing off the back. And then we got this button, I think this is late 1800s. It says 4 holes improved on it, so I'm pretty sure it's late 1800s. And then this, what I thought was a coin, is actually a button, because you can see the silver gilt on the front of it. And if you look closely enough on the back, right in the center, is where the shank would have been. Then we got this button that would have had like a glass bead in the middle to make it look like a jeweled button. That's pretty old. Then we got this filigree button, and it was gold gilt. I don't know if you can see the gold gilt on it. It's a 2-piece button, civilian button. And then we got a couple of flat buttons here and here and here, and we got a couple of tom back, which is a mix of tin and pewter, tin and something else anyway. That's spun on a lathe. You can see those lathe marks on the back of it. And then we got 3 buttons that I want to show you, 2 of which for sure are eagle buttons. And then one that I thought was a plain flat button. It's got gold gilt and a back mark on it, and the shank's flattened, but I think that is an eagle button as well. So let me show you. These buttons, I'm going to do it on the iPad. Alright, here it is on the iPad using the blue and white light, well, color setting. It's definitely an eagle button with the stars around it and a shield. And then on the back it says best quality with a wreath. Alright, here's the next one. You can see the eagle with the arrows in its talons. Keeps trying to focus. These buttons I think were burned, so they're not in the best shape. I don't see a back mark on that one. But still a pretty cool button. Early Federal Eagle button. I think probably 1809 maybe. Alright, so this is what I thought was a plain flat button, but I cleaned it. Probably a little bit too much, but I did clean it to see what I could see on it. Because I thought I saw an image on there. And I believe that right here is an eagle wing, as well as right there. And then a head and the body. And then I think I can see hash marks of a shield. And then if you look closely right here, right there, that looks like a star. So one of the stars that would have been around the button. So I'm pretty sure that is another eagle button, so that would make a 3 eagle button day. Early eagle buttons, I think these dated 1809. So that was cool. That was a great hunt. And on the back of this one it says standard color gilt. And the shank's on there, but pushed down. So that is a pretty cool button. Let's see what this one looks like. That's that civilian button. Oh, that's pretty cool. Here's that chisel you saw me dig up. A little bit preserved. It's lost some meat to it, but you can see where it was used quite a bit on the end. I don't know what that was used for though. It's a little small chisel. Alright, well, caught up quite a few finds. Hope you enjoyed the hunt, and I will see you at the next one.